So I'm going to start just with standing, or if you want to sit down, it is actually fine too. So just start with swinging arms. And just let your arms, just swing your arms up, let your arms be really nice and long. Palms facing up, palms facing down. Yes, I hope you've all been able to get out for a bit. I can hear you talking about being in your garden, which is great, isn't it? At least you can go out and sit in the garden and enjoy the good weather. I have too. I kind of go out and do gardening like every afternoon, pretty much. Yeah. But it is a bit limiting, this sort of whole condition, you know, about staying indoors or not being able to go out and do your usual groups and socializing and doing all these things that we're used to normally, you know. So do make use out of the things that you have got, you know. Like I said, I'll put this when you're meeting on a Thursday and also on a Tuesday morning. I'm going to put it on a little bit earlier. So if you wanted to log on and have a wee chat, please do so, yeah. So we're coming to the meridian sweep, and actually prior to that we're just going to massage the hands. So just massage the center of your hands. So just giving your hands a good center of your hands, a good massage. So what we work with a lot when Qigong and Tai Chi is working with energy and getting the body to relax a bit more and getting the energy flowing, but it's also really the circulation in the body, you know, and kind of getting everything flowing a bit easier. So one of the ways of doing that is, yeah, we do obviously the meridian sweep, which we're going to be doing now. So what I'm going to do is just starting bringing my hands into the middle of the body, sweeping up the front of the body, bringing the hands across, coming over the top of the head and down the back of the head, and just reaching down as far as I can. And I'm going to swing my arms around, bringing that down the back side, just brushing down the back side. And just go down as far as you can reach. And then come back up on the inside of your legs, sweeping up the front of the body. We're just going to do this 3 times. Over the head, down, and down the back side. I mean, bend your knees, so you come down, sweeping around your little toe, inside of your big toe. Okay, good. And just once more. So this is kind of sweeping, just covering all the meridian lines in the body. And there is 12 of them. So this is a kind of simplified version of doing that. And then just bringing your hands into the chest. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sweep the meridians sort of in my arms and my face. So I'm going to just start with just bringing the hand across the face and then underneath the arm, sweeping underneath the arm, over the top. And then just bringing that hand across the face, just feeling the warmth of your hand as it comes across the face. And underneath the arm, we'll do this 3 times again. Through your shoulder, chest, and once more. Okay, good. Just going to tap just the base of the collarbones, and what I'm actually doing just underneath towards the center there, tapping that part of the body there. It's actually a kidney point. So again, working with the meridians and these acupressure points, acupuncture points, it's really to sort of stimulate the energy in the body. Okay, and then we're going to just tap the lower back. It's actually the actual kidneys. If you're sitting down, making sure you sort of come away from the chair a bit, so you're just making enough space for your arms. You could also just sort of do a bit of circular movement, yeah? Just whichever way you can get in and work with your hands, really. Okay, good. So I'm going to just take you through the Bashi number 2, and so just starting with taking a step with your left foot, the foot forwards, placing your right hand on the knee, left hand on top, and then just looking up. So as I come into my front leg, I want to connect down through my leg into the center of the foot. And that connects into the earth. And then as I'm looking up, I'm just going to bring my arms up and make a little bit of a viewfinder, bringing my hands up, looking up into the sky and then parting. Called, this movement is called scooping the sea, viewing the sky. And the Qigong, all these movements join with the breath. So in breath, out breath. And I like to sort of come into kind of coaching myself into just expanding the in breath here. Sinking on the out breath. So changing feet. So then when I step with my right foot, I put my left hand on top of the knee, right hand on top of the other hand. And this movement is actually great for your back. I know some of you kind of have sort of stiff backs or pains and aches and pains in your back and your shoulders and your arms. So by working within your sort of soft limit of that, so you're not kind of feeling that you're pushing yourself, but just doing working with what you can do, yeah. So coming into the next one, just kind of rocking forwards and backwards on your legs and your feet. Let the heel come off, let the toe come off. And as I come into my front leg, I kind of stand up a bit, yeah. And as I come into my back leg, I kind of sink. So, and coming into pushing waves, so rising. Sinking into your back leg. Following that breath. So out breath as you move forwards. In breath. And again, I kind of place a bit of my attention into my center of my front foot, yeah, into the middle of the foot. To what's called a bobbling whale. And because this is called pushing waves, it's kind of, if you're imagining you're getting into the sea and there's like a wave washing through you, quality of just rooting into the seabed, yeah, with your front foot. And then let that wave wash through you. To get a sense of washing all the kind of sort of tension you're holding in your back. And it could be sort of, yeah, maybe anxious feelings or just worried feelings. Let that wash out through your back. Coming forward on the out breath. Changing legs. The same thing with this, rooting into your front leg. And so breathing out, just getting that sense of breathing out, letting go of that tension in your back. Letting go of any kind of sort of things you feel a bit gritty about. And just kind of visualizing that there's that sort of waves washing through you, washing that out through your back as you're breathing out. Okay, good. So, taking a step with your left, and I'm going to just sink into my right leg, just let my fingertips kind of drop and then circle up. Come back to parallel feet, stepping out with the other foot, circling down, pointing my fingertips down, circling back up. So as I'm stepping to the diagonal, so I'm stepping to the other diagonal, I get a sense of getting a bit of stretch from the back of my leg as my hands are moving down, coming up, sinking on the out breath. Rising on the in-breath. And you could also again visualize you kind of breathing out tension down through your feet, down through your foot into the earth, and then coming back up again. Breathing out, or clearing down through your leg, through your foot, letting that go into the ground. As you're breathing out. Okay, so the next move is you might want to just have a chair or something handy, or maybe even just lean into it on something next to you. So kind of breathing in, and as you're breathing out, straightening the leg and kind of kicking, like you're kicking out through your heel there, and then coming back. In breath, breathing out. And if you kind of feel you're losing balance a bit, that's okay. You could actually just go, if you lose your balance, put your heel down like that. Kicking legs, this one's called. And I think you can do this when you're sitting down. I think I have seen people doing that, doing that quite well. So good. I'm just going to place my hands on the sort of front of my pelvis, and I'm just going to come into just sort of turning my waist from side to side. And again, I think you can. I'm not sure how well you can do that while you're sitting down. but you can certainly do the upper body movement for this next bit. But initially when you're standing, just getting into sort of rocking from side to side and staying in the middle. So you're not going kind of side to side actually, but I'm turning around my center of my spine. And as I do that, bringing the hand back, bringing the hand forwards, over the head, down through the centers again. As if I was balancing a teacup in the palm of my hand, coming down. This is all well until I get to this bit. I'm always thinking it drops off. But it's called the cup of tea exercise, number 1. There is a number 2 as well, which is even more fun. So again, kind of working within your own kind of sense of limits, yeah? So there is a kind of waist shoulder movement that carries the arm around, but if you're kind of feeling that your movement is a bit more restricted, then just do a smaller movement, yeah? Really good movement for your spine, but for your shoulder joint, really getting that moving. And it's a nice big movement, exploring the space around your body as well. Okay, and then try the other side. And this is going to feel different. The left is not the same as the right. Well, you'll probably find, I mean, I know people with Parkinson's, your left side is not the same as the right side. But just working with that. And moving your body. Moving back, moving forwards. Waist goes back, waist goes forwards. Waist and shoulder kind of moving together. Pushing with your legs. Okay, good. Well done. So actually another one with the hands just in front of the pelvis there. And this one, what I'm going to do, sinking in, and then just extending the palm out. And then rising again, bringing the arm back. So into one leg. As I'm breathing out. And then in breath. So it's called pushing palms. So making sure you get this sense of the palms being open and kind of pushing in out to the diagonal. Moving on the out breath, moving on the in breath. Feeling that kind of diagonal connection in the body kind of natural way of moving for all of us when we're walking, if we're running, but any kind of physical activity, we kind of work with that kind of sense of diagonal connection. So I'm feeling as my weight goes into one leg, into the foot, feeling a sensation in that foot, but also feeling that connection into my opposite hand. Okay, good. Dropping your arms. So I'm going to sink, and as I'm rising, that sense of drawing the arms up on the side, and then as I'm sinking, pushing the palms out. Sinking, rising. So out breath, and then in breath, just a nice long in breath. I mean, as I've probably said to you lots of times, just that kind of sense of breath, really important. So oxygen is kind of fuel for the body. Just helps everything in the body, supports everything in the body when we breathe well. So we kind of know we probably relax more when we get into deeper breathing. But it's also something about circulation. So when your lungs are really filling with oxygen, it's like that gets pumped out to the rest of the body. And it's fuel. So it just helps the blood circulation, just helps the body to work at its best. And I think I said, I mean, all these exercises can be done. Well, I know most of you are standing. It can be done seated and actually lying in bed as well. You know, if you were not feeling well enough, or you're feeling a bit stiff, you know, like when you wake up in the morning, do a bit of movement in bed before you get out, or even just to get us into a little bit of movement and some breathing, just to kind of get yourself going. I mean, this very first one we do, the swinging arms, it can be done in bed, you know. Try it if you're up for it. Yeah. So so bringing the hands in front of the body, and then just like get that sense of rising, sinking. And as we know, with this movement, as you're rising, it's on the out breath. And then just in breath. Joining with your natural breath, so feeling that we all have to move together exactly the same pace. Also looks very much like that first movement in our 5-element form. And it has that kind of quality of just clearing the system and opening. So as you're breathing out, just to get a sense of kind of clearing up through the body. So once more, and this time as the arms come up, we're just going to leave the arms out to the side there. And then bringing the arms back in again. And what I'm going to do this time, letting the arms be a bit long as they come down and down to the side of the body, pressing down, and then coming up in the center and out. It's like a funnel, or the movement is called funnel. The funnel. Okay. Good. So that's the 8 moves in this Qigong sequence. We've been through just kind of doing a little bit of movement with your feet and your legs, just to kind of loosen them up a bit of rolling, big toe out to little toe. And we can play the 5-element form, and I think most of you know it now, so I'm going to just take you all the way through the form. I mean, I think like we did last week, and then I'll take some questions afterwards. But I want to kind of work through the form. I'm going to play right side and left side, and then I'll stop, and then I'll just take you through it again, and then talk about the organs, the different organs in the body, yeah, because they're different layers, and then there's a little visualization as well. So to do with the 5 elements, there's also kind of colors as well. So I kind of want to kind of get a little bit more in touch with that when we go through the sequence. But let's just go through the sequence once, and just starting just with your feet together in attention posture. And then just begin sinking into your right leg, step out. To come equally into your left and right. Bring your hands together in front of your belly. Rising, the element of fire, clearing up through the system and out. Make sure you turn your palms so they're facing to the space behind you. Then gathering your hands in again, rising, both palms rising up to level with the heart, and then pressing down. Weight goes into the right leg. Step back with your left leg. Transfer the weight into your left. Hands come into the center of your chest. Turn the palms, push out, element of air. So opening up that space to the side, opening up the lungs, lowering your tips, fingertips. Bringing your hands again into the center of your chest. Bring index finger and thumb together. Pull out like you're pulling a cord all the way out. And release. Then all the weight goes into your left. Right foot just goes down on the ball. Balancing move. Bring the right hand down. Step forwards. And then flowing forwards like if you're in a river. It's the element of water. You can also imagine like a wave kind of washing out over you and down through. So then I'm going to turn my right toe around, step around behind the body. Weight goes into the left. Push the weight back into the right and step around. So you're centering yourself around the center of your right foot and just stepping 1.5 times. So you come right round to face the front again. The arms come up and just get a sense of following that line of the spine down. Then I'm going to open to the left and bring in that left hand down through the centers. Open to the right, bringing that right hand down to the centers. And then let the fingertips point up and point down. There's a secondary fire. So again, go through the movement once more and come up to the center fire element like a volcano. Quality of that. Hands sticking into the earth, so connecting with the earth element. So to gathering the harvest, sink into your left leg, step back. Transfer the weight into your right leg, swing the arms up. Push forwards. Opening into the air element. And just bringing in as much space as you can as you're breathing in. And then pulling this cord, index finger and thumb, pulling that all the way out. Release. Come up fully into your right leg, connecting with heaven and earth. Bring the right hand down in the center line, step forwards. Moving forwards, the water element. Like a wave again, washing over you, down through. Going to come into the earth element, turning on the heel of that left foot, bringing the toes around as far as you can, step behind you, weight then goes into the right, weight goes back into the left leg. So stepping now with the right leg, turning around the center of the left foot, and just stepping around. The element of earth, and this could be sort of visualizing all new growth, plant, beautiful flower, trees with leaves on. Opening to the right, centering move, bringing the right hand in. Opening to the left. And then secondary fire. And then just finishing, weight goes in to the right leg, bring that left foot in. So you're finishing just with your feet together. Okay, so hopefully that was pretty good all the way through. Couldn't actually see, I can't see what you're doing. But I just wanted to talk you through, I've just got little pictures actually at the top of the screen, so you're very small. But hopefully you're doing all right. Want to do it again, yeah? But this time looking at the different kind of organs in the body. So as you go through the 5 elements, want to kind of focus on the 5 organs in the body. So the first element, as we're going through this element, this is the movement that connects the heart. Yes, we all know where the heart is in the body. You know, it's sort of center, kind of a little bit off to the left, isn't it? Heart. So as we go through that movement, kind of just focusing on that part of the body, and perhaps a little bit a sense of, wow, this is actually working. You know, it's my heart's pumping. It does this work every day. Yeah, isn't this amazing? So yeah, I know it's quite ridiculous, but it is actually amazing. So that's the first element. Then the second element, which is we're digging our hands into the earth, is connecting actually with the stomach and spleen. Yeah, so that's again a little bit off to the left. If you kind of place your hand just sort of to underneath your left rib cage, sort of thing, up is that area. And then we come into the element of, what's the next element? Is air, yeah. As we're pushing forwards and we're opening out, that's the air element. And guess what kind of organ that connects with? It's the lungs, yeah. So the lungs, again, in a way, I kind of sometimes see the lungs kind of hugging the heart, yeah. So they're in the core of your body, yeah. And when we're breathing, we obviously feel connections to the lungs. So really that kind of whole sequence, opening up and opening out, really kind of feeling that sense of expansion, connection to the lungs, and that kind of work that the lungs are actually doing when they're breathing, yeah. And it's a nice way of clearing as well. So, and then we go through the element of water, as you're pushing forwards and you're coming up and you're coming down again. And water, the organ that connects with the water element is our kidneys, yeah. So connecting with that part of the body, when we're doing that movement, I think we were doing today, I got you to do this movement here, yeah. And as you're breathing out, getting a sense of breathing out through your back, and that also kind of helps to connect with the kidneys actually when we put that focus there. So thinking about the kidneys in relationship to the water element. And then we have wood, yeah, which is the one where we're walking around, you know, we're centering ourselves, and that organ is the liver, yeah, and the liver is towards the right side of your body. And again, if you kind of look at your rib cage, it's just it's tucked in a little bit underneath your rib cage and across and a little bit down, so it's kind of quite a large organ there, yeah. So that's the connecting to the liver element. And we have a secondary fire. I mean, the secondary fire really is another kind of heart connection or fire element. So we can then think about the heart again with that when we do the secondary fire, that movement there and coming down. Yeah. So I'm going to talk you through that again, and then I'll just sort of say for each movement where to kind of place your attention in the body. Yeah. So try again from attention posture. And we just begin sinking in, stepping out. So the first movement is the fire element, and is the kind of heart. It's clearing up through the system and out. Then I gather with my hands, get a sense of digging into the earth. And this is actually an element of the stomach, because of the organ, the stomach, spleen. And I'm sinking into my right leg, stepping back. And I transfer my weight. Bring the hands into the chest. It's the element of air and organ is the lungs, so really opening up, feeling that expansion in the chest. And get a sense of bringing some of that space again back inside the body. And then kind of with index finger and thumb, get a sense of opening that right out as far as you want to go. Then we've got to get a connecting move, balancing move. Bring that right hand down. We step forwards into the water element, which is the kidneys. So we can kind of visualize a kind of wave kind of washing over us and down through the body. Yeah? And stay in your left leg. So then I'm going to turn on my right heel, step around behind my body, and then weight goes back into the right leg. And as I'm stepping around, this is the element of wood, but it's also the liver organ that I kind of want to focus on. And just finishing one movement down through. And then I can do another balancing move, right hand, left hand. Right hand. And then a secondary fire, much more gentle. Just go through that again once more. So this movement connects to the heart. This movement connects to the stomach, spleen. And this time sink into your left leg. This movement connects to the lungs, pushing open, clearing. Pinching with the index finger, thumb, pulling that cord all the way out. Balancing. Then I step forwards, left leg forwards, flowing forwards. And think about my kidneys, kind of element of water. So I turn on the heel, that left foot stepping around behind the body. It goes into the right. As the weight comes back into left, bringing my arms up. And then I'm just going to step, pivoting around that left foot. This is the movement for the liver organ of the liver. To the right. To the left. And then secondary fire. And this finishing weight goes into your right leg. Bring that left foot in. And coming back to attention posture. Okay, good. So have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. So we'll just have the last sort of few minutes. I'll talk you through a little body scan. And if you're feeling comfortable, you could close your eyes. If you want to keep your eyes open, just keep the gaze down. You're not sort of so much looking at what's in front of you. So just starting with bringing attention to the feet and the sensation in the feet. Noticing right foot may be different from left foot. Just allowing your body to relax. So if you're just being on your feet for a while, this will really give your feet and your legs a bit of a break. Opportunity to really relax. So relaxing your ankles. Some breathing in. I get a sense of just bringing my attention to, or maybe even breathing into my center of my ankles. And then as I'm breathing out, there's a real sense of relaxing. And on the next in-breath, just bringing your attention to your knees. And as you're breathing in, just bringing as much of your attention you can just to that part of your body. Just with a sense of kindness. Relaxing on the out breath. And then on the next in-breath, bring your attention to your hips. Relaxing the buttocks. So bringing your attention just to the core, to the center of your hips, hip joints. Just a real sense of relaxing. And relaxing the place between your shoulder blades. So that part of the spine, upper spine. And then just relaxing the out breath, breathing out any tension. And bringing your attention to your shoulders, joints. Again, using your out breath. This is a way of letting go into a place of relaxation. And following that flow of relaxation down your arms into your elbows. Down into your wrists. And then down into your hands. And then just getting a sense of the body, the whole body, just as it is at the moment. Okay. So we could just do 3 movements just to complete this. So that's into bringing your arms up, pressing your palms down. So thank you for today, and see you again soon.